To start things off, first and foremost, my name is Joe Bunn. My company is called Bunn Gear. This is the white command center, if you will. So I hope you guys are digging the way it looks. This is the one, my personal booth that I take out pretty much every single show that I do. I also have a black one, sometimes for more corporate events, or usually it's in here in the studio for streaming, but got the white one tonight. Quick history of the company. We used to be called Vision DJ Designs. We made the booths one at a time right here in North Carolina with one of my DJs who's a fiberglass expert, and it was a nightmare. It took us 2 months to make one booth. We didn't make any money. So I partnered up with a couple other guys that that's what they do, is bring products to life. Next thing you know, we found a new designer, new engineer, and we started manufacturing them in New Jersey. And I like, the company. They did a good job, but I wanted to move production here to North Carolina, mainly so I could keep an eye on it myself. So the brand new factory we just signed a contract with about a week or two ago is right around the corner. They're going to be making the Bunn Gear Command Center from now going forward. So I'm pretty stoked about that. First and foremost, let's just start top down, and I'll probably just kind of break it down into parts. So this is the laptop stand, super heavy duty. You can see where we bent every side of it, and that gives it this rigidity so it doesn't flex or bend. It's basically like almost like a front bicycle tire release for pivoting it up and down. And then you can also see there's screws on the top, and I've kind of cheated mine closer to me because I'm short and have short arms. So again, that's your laptop stand. Now, let me tell you a little bit about these lids. This is basically a PVC lid. You can see it's very lightweight, but it does have nice construction to it. These are basically cut for whatever controller or turntables or whatever you have. So if you go to Bunn Gear, at Bunn Gear on Instagram, you'll see all different types of controllers and configurations. That's the beauty of this booth. If you have turntables, if you have a mixer, if you have a controller, it is going to work because we cut these tops when you order, right? In fact, I've got a couple over here, Linus, if you want to come over here. So you can see I just got these cut. This is for SRT 1000, which is what I have over there. You can also see where we have the 3 5/8 inch hole cut here for the cup holder, which is kind of one of my favorite things. Linus, if you want to kind of spin around here beside me and show them this, a couple of different things I want to show you on the outside. These are BNC connectors, right? This is an antenna kit. It is an add-on. We're going to actually start putting blanks over these when we ship them. But most people buy this antenna kit because if you put your antenna in the rack down below, the signal is just going to go ping, pong, ping, pong, ping, and then hit the back wall and then finally get out there to the father of the bride. We don't want that. So we move the antennas to the outside. Linus, you want to spin around here one more time? A couple of other people asked about, this and spinning. We added this little mechanism early on to where you can clamp down on the laptop pretty hard with these 2 screws here. And you can see, like when I pull this out, it goes through that rubber grommet, which keeps it pretty tight. But then if you really want to clamp down on it, you use that right there. There's bags for these, and I'm going to show those in a minute. They're for the lids themselves, these PVC lids. There's no particular cover, but I do, highly recommend a deck saver for your controller. I always keep one of these on my whatever controller I have. I just buy, and I put it on here, and then basically, to be honest with you, I leave my booth assembled in my van. I lay my Evolve 50 towers actually on top of this deck saver. It's so sturdy, and I roll the whole booth in with the Evolves laying over the top of this thing. No issues yet. So deck saver, crucial piece of gear. Let's take a look inside. You can see one thing that I did is I mounted my microphone here. I actually, and I'll show you guys some custom stuff, but I took everything out of the rack down below. So you got a 10 space rack down here. This is our proprietary rack shelf, which we sell as an add-on. But I took everything out of my rack recently because I tore my rotator cuff. It was a lot lighter without all that stuff in it. I'm going to eventually put it back in, and I'll show you a couple of things I took out of there. But let's just talk about these rails for a minute. The beauty of the inside of this is you've got these rails or bridges, right? And they slide back and forth and up and down depending on the height of your gear or what kind of configuration you need in here. Now, you need a total of 6 if you have, say, a Rain 12 setup or a Technics 1200 setup. Those are also on the website to buy as well. I will note this. First time you set it up, 30 minutes to an hour when you get all your gear to get it leveled out, get that lid on, make it flush. But after that, you don't have to mess with it anymore until or if you change controllers. At that point, you can, level it out again, put your new lid on, and you're ready to go. A couple other things. By the way, this is the cup holder. This is kind of like a DIY mod right now. It's a 3 5/8 inch door hole saw to get the hole size. And then these are on Amazon. This is just a boat cup holder. It goes in the gunnel of a boat, and it's got adhesive on it, so it just drops right in that hole, and then you got yourself a cup holder. Let's talk about a few of these other accessories. So these are called the hook. We just call it the hook. It's very simple, aluminum, lightweight item. They're for two different reasons. One, I had my headphones hanging right there, as you saw. Or two, they can also hold your microphone. The hole on these now is going to be threaded, because a lot of times I'll go to, I want to say something real quick on the mic, and I'll go, and normally this goes, and I'm like, damn. So we're going to put a screw on the back of them so they don't go flying off. So, and those just kind of pack up in your little bag, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Linus, if you'll come down here. So thumb screws, these are actually something you can probably get at Lowe's. There's 4 of them that hold the top on. The beauty of it is once you take that PVC lid off, you can just kind of grab this. I mean, you can see, I don't even think this weighs, I don't know, 20 pounds. I mean, I'm not really straining or anything. What I tell people not to do is grab it by these rails, because you end up messing up your balance, I guess, if you will. All right, I'm gonna set that there and just show you guys over here again, like how I break the bottom part down. Again, same thing. You got your 4 screws here. 4 screws are done. Again, I know that's not 20 pounds. I mean, I'm one-handed that. And then you got your base plate. Mine's dirty. Those are your 3 parts, right? Going into the venue. Check this out. These just came. This is so crazy. Today, just arrived probably 2 hours ago. A guy pulled up. He's like, I got a pallet for you. And I had to go out there and depalletize this. Check it out. Woo! Bruh, I literally almost started crying. The old bags didn't have the brand on them. I don't know. The new bags have the Bunn Gear brand on them, which is very cool. First and foremost, quality. Quality all the way around. Quality, thick, padding. Check it out. Accessory pouch up top for your hooks and your screws. This is kind of a life hack, if you will. That way, instead of trying to make the bag stand up for you, see, these are brand new, but check it. Flip it over. Boom. Base plate. Whoop. Side pocket so they don't beat each other up. Boom. Velcro at the top. Hooks, screws, close it up, roll out. Literally one-handed it. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the top. So I'm walking into the gig. Now, especially if you Velcro your controller into the top of that and you protect it, you don't want to be stacking stuff on top of your bags or whatever. You can walk into a gig with your entire booth in 2 hands. 2 hands. So I always go out by myself. Randy goes out by himself. All my DJs go out by themselves. They set up their own gear. They strike their own gear. They can technically walk this in if they wanted to, or put it all in a rock and roll cart with a set of speakers, cruise in, and they're done. I would do the same thing again with this that I did with that. I'd probably stand it up vertically instead of trying to stand the bag up, because that was a little bit of a complaint, is that people would try and stand this bag up. Now look at the bag. Like this is no BS bag. Like this is padded. They crushed these. So a lot of people were saying they need more rigidity so it'll stand up while I try and drop that in it. But my thoughts are, I think it's going to be a lot easier if you just drape it like that. And again, you got to be careful with your stuff, period. Like you still need to be careful with your gear. And again, I've torn my rotator cuff, so I'm trying to baby that and do this. But check this out. Also over here on the side, Linus, you got 2 things. You got another Velcro pouch here with this ring, because this is where your laptop stand goes. Goes right in there, and then the pole is secured by that Velcro. Again, top go over. Look, I literally have a torn subscapularis something, and I can pick this thing up. my right one. Doesn't feel great, but I can walk in. Yo, what's up? I'm here to rock the party with the whole booth in my hand. This was one of the main things that I took out. And if you want to see something really cool to even shorten your setup time even more, you want to get yourself a custom panel. NLFX in Minnesota makes these. Ben Stowe is my guy there. It's Ben at NLFXpro.com. Ben at NLFXpro.com. So again, Evolve 50 plug in here, record out. If I had like a videographer, if I had a booth monitor by my foot, I would use that. I had the PowerCon power so I couldn't trip over it. Another outlet just to have. And then again, more power for my speakers. So super cool custom panel. I also had in there a 2 microphones side by side, 2 of the new EV RE3s. I also had an antenna combiner that went out to those antenna on each side, and then I blanked out the rest of it. So I had the full 10U blanked out with blanks or this or those EV microphones. So did add a substantial amount of weight. And then when I hurt myself, like I said, I stripped the booth down to basically just the controller, 1 microphone, and still I leave it fully assembled because I have a small Mercedes Metris van. The top will hold absolutely anything that you have to throw at it. It'll hold an SZ, which is one of the biggest controllers. It'll hold any of those new Pioneers with the screen. It holds Technics 1200s with an S9 or the new, what is that, S11 mixer. It holds the Rain 12s with the Rain 72 mixer.
Can you add a second laptop for a second DJ?
It's a good question. Absolutely. You could add 3 laptops. So it's another accessory if you want to pick one up on the website. A lot of guys do. A lot of guys run their Serato or their virtual DJ or whatever on the right. And then on the left, they have that as their lighting computer and their backup. I've never seen anybody do 3, but I have seen 2 a lot. You'll see that on the Bunn Gear fan page or our Instagram as well. Right now, black and white are the only colors. However, I have heard several people talk about wrapping them. I saw a guy that wrapped his PVC lid in carbon fiber, and it looks so cool. I have seen a lot of people on the rack. They put a vinyl lettering. They did their brand. So basically just squeegeed on like letters like you would, if you did it on your vehicle. But I've seen a lot of people brand that part of it. Again, tasteful, not like ridiculous, but just like a tasteful brand. As far as our brand, I didn't really mention that. There is a vinyl lettering on this side of the booth, nothing on the front side on the audience. And again, if you don't like it, you can just take your thumbnail and take it off. It will hurt my feelings just a little bit, but not a lot. So the antennas, again, the reason we moved the antennas to the outside of the booth is because Ben Stowe from NLFX that I was mentioning earlier, probably one of the leading wireless microphone experts, dare I say, in the country, if not the world. The guy does national championship football games to make sure that wireless works, so on and so forth. He came here. We were making some videos. I showed him the prototype, and he said, man, if you rack mount a mic in that booth and don't put those antennas on the outside, it's going to ping pong around inside that rack, finally get out to the person talking, and it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. So we moved the antennas to the outside.
And then somebody's asking where the speaker wires run out from the speakers.
Quick connect, I would have this kind of towards the bottom of the rack. The reason the rack can't go the full length of the rack or of that space is obviously because you have to have room enough to get your hand in to undo the top and bottom. But I had this on the last, I think this is the last 4 spaces of the rack. And then, again, the speaker cables ran out like that. If not, I use those Siamese cables, the power and XLR in one, and I basically just run them up the back of the rack. And then you saw those power strips I had mounted in the top. I run the power into there and then the XLR directly into the controller, and then just drop them out the bottom, to the left and right so I don't trip on them, along with the power cord to either the left or the right, and I'm hooked up. I mean, again, I'm DJing within 15 minutes of being in the venue. Guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. Again, my name is Joe Bunn. Bunn Gear is the name of the company. The Command Center is the name of the DJ booth. Go to bunngear.com if you want to grab one. I will see you guys soon. If you have any questions whatsoever at any time, support@bunngear.com. And again, don't forget to check out the Instagram @BunnGear and also the Facebook Bunn Gear fan page with all the mods. Thank y'all. Good night.